Hope y'all are doing good. Hope y'all are doing good. Let's bring in some of me. What's going on? It is your host, Patty Pips. We are in the building. Chart Talk episode 16, my friends. So let's get into it. So today, on Mondays, what we're going to start doing, right, we're going to start having a little schedule throughout the week, unless there is something crazy that happens, of course. But we're going to start doing Saturdays, every Saturday, crypto. Sundays, every Sunday, top-down analysis. Mondays, we're going, because me personally, I don't like trading that Sunday open, and I don't even love trading Mondays, really. So I like to let Monday kind of do its thing, and then I really come in Monday night or Tuesday. And yeah, I can make my mic louder if that needs to be the case. AB, let me just go ahead and do that right here, and we should be good to go there. And then every now and then I'm going to come over here and check the comments, wherever those might be, from the YouTube live stream. So I'm going to take this out, and then I should have the YouTube chats somewhere over here. Or did I not? Oh, well. Let's see what I did with the YouTube chats. Nope. I guess they went away. In 1 second. Let's bring this up. And then there we go. All right. There we go. Hear this beat. I like that. Let me bring back the other. Where's my. This is funny. In 1 second. There we go. All right. So I got the chats over here. I'll keep them minimized, so I should be able to come back and forth to that every now and then. Give me like every 5 minutes. I'm the type of an analyst who likes to flow when I start to go. So let's get into it, right? So the first thing we'd like to do is we always like to go over the DXY. It just kind of correlates with the whole market we trade. not just one pair. So if you just trade one pair, it's not as important when you're looking at the dollar. But when you're trading multiple markets, multiple different pairs in the Forex market, in my opinion, you want to have a good analysis on the dollar. And the dollar is basically a basket of all the currencies versus the dollar, right? This is what we were waiting for. It's not going to happen yet. It's just the dollar should not get into this area for a while now. What we're going to be battling at this point is this lower time frame area. So let's go on to the daily and let's look and see the volume that we have here on the daily. And let's bring in my volume. Let's take this off. And I mean, we got great volume, guys. Just it is what it is. Huge volume coming off of this low right there. And I mean, when you get stuff like that, it is decreasing a little bit. So you really want to see this kind of increase just a hair as the market is moving up like this. But nonetheless, it's still way higher volume than we've seen in the past. I'm expecting a move to continue to break this high. Maybe not tomorrow, maybe not even the next day. But eventually this wave is what we're going to call this. This is a whole wave here. I'm expecting that wave to form another wave again, eventually. All right. So how are we going to play this though right now? Well, the market's in a clear downtrend, and we're going to delete everything that we got on the screen right now. And we're just going to kind of give it a clear look. Okay. Market's in a pretty clean downtrend on, let's go to the 4 hour now. Pretty much can see that we're in this downtrend, but we do know overall macro big uptrend here, right? But let's stick with this lower time frame. We have the structure points that are super obvious. That's what we want to start looking at. The structure points here, we equaled it out, never broke it. Okay, we still swung low, swung way low. Okay, so this is the technical swing high that needs to break for the dollar to flip completely bullish. If we want to start to argue, this could be it. And that would mean that this market is looking like it could start to flip bullish. And ultimately, this is what we want to see. We want to see the market come back into this area where there was a whole bunch of agreement, and then we want to see it agree again on this price here. How long will it take? I'm not sure. How long will it take to sit here till it moves up again? If it moves up again, I'm not sure. But what we're most likely going to play before that is this supply area up in here. So the market definitely made somewhat of a manipulative move right here, took out these highs, and then dropped pretty good. So that is going to be the price that we're going to be looking at the dollar to start to make its retracement. And ultimately, if the freaking Fed comes out and says some crap about how everything's looking better, yada, 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 this might just be the biggest kind of manipulative bull crap here where you go down, then up, then down again. I've seen it happen. Doesn't happen a whole lot, to be honest, because here was one manipulation. Here, I mean, even here was another one. Here, right? A lot of manipulation, and then we get a big manipulative move, right? Then we get another one. I will be damned if this thing comes down lower. We're not focusing on that. But if the Fed comes out and does say something, because I believe there is some Fed speaking tomorrow, something like tomorrow or Thursday or Wednesday or something. If they come out and say some dovish stuff, this thing could start to really drop. So I think it's going to be the opposite. I think they're going to come out and say, even though job reports are great, we're still expecting because that's one thing, guys. We just had the best job numbers, unemployment rate in like 60 years. So in the fundamental sense, this dollar should not be bullish like this. It should be bearish. Because when you have good job numbers, this is what like maybe the newer people need to hear. When you have good numbers, good unemployment numbers, when unemployment is low, that means more people have jobs. When more people have jobs, more people, not more people, but people are able to spend money. When people spend money, the stock market goes up. Okay, when the stock market goes up, the dollar is supposed to be bearish. So it was kind of interesting to see that the dollar skyrocketed off of great numbers. It's kind of a divergence here. So that's why we're going to still try to take advantage of the bears here, because something is diverging. Either the dollar is going to actually tank, or the stock market is going to actually tank. One of them, they both can't go up. It just doesn't really work like that, right? So this is the price on the futures chart that we're going to be looking at for the dollar. It does line up with the fibs almost too perfectly. And I almost hate that. when the market gives you something too perfect, it's kind of makes you question it a little bit. But definitely how we're going to be playing it. Now, what's going to be our confirmation? Let's see if we have any volume that hasn't been tapped yet. Okay, so from the week that there was this manipulative move, okay, this is the price that has me thinking the market could stop here instead of coming all the way up into the 78.6. Let me go into the daily and see if there's anything else up there. And a lot of people are going to look at this as an order block. That's fine. Whoever your daddy is, I don't care. Okay, and so down here is another interesting area, and this is going to be the month of February, this price right here. So we're going to probably watch this move a little bit as the month comes on. So February POC, and we'll probably see this move a little bit, and hopefully it kind of scoots into an area where we really want to buy from. And ultimately, this looks like the 78.6 right here. So this is looking really clean if it can come back down. Like I said, though, guys, it's going to take a couple of days for this to get down here. If it gets down here in one day, that's way too fast. So that's why we're kind of focusing on the bearish possibility. It's a little bit more risky, but where the market is right now, I see a correction coming. And when I play corrections, I wait for the absolute best price. I do not play around when I'm playing a correctional move, because ultimately this market is starting to pick up momentum to the upside, and sometimes the momentum will precede the structure and precede the price action. So this is the structure, right? There's momentum here. It can sometimes just blow straight through that, and if it wants to, then starts to roll off. So you got to be careful when the market's making these momentum moves, but I'm seeing a little bit of bearish volume divergence coming in here, right? So these are our prices that we want to look at for the market to slow down at. Let's bring in a little bit more volume to see if there's anything over here hasn't been tapped. Not really, but there was this volume over here on this day. That's an interesting price too, but don't need all those. We got enough price over here. It looks good. Let me bring into this guy. I need to get more price into the picture to compare to. Okay, perfect. So what this is telling me is, I mean, it's painting the picture perfectly. You can see how this is a high area of volume. So if the market does come into here, it has a chance to hold. This is a high area of volume where we're almost stopping at right now. And then one more level of high volume before it could slip through here and come into this level. So I see the possibility of the correction And the correction could be fast, guys. It really could be, but if it's too fast, it's not worth it. So it needs to be a little bit slower than this. So give it till the 12th. Where are we in? Oof, that's a long time. That's next week. Give it till 2 more days, I think. So let's look at the bears. We got the volume up here. And it's going to disappear when I take away price. So just know that. And this is also showing that once it does kind of break this level, we're sliding straight down into here. So I'm going to note that as well. This will be an area of no volume. And I say slide through. It could easily just, nope, and continue to go up. That's one thing that we will watch for as well tomorrow. Because if it just slides straight through, that there probably won't be a trade opportunity. Let's go and bring in the MACD. So this is what I'll be focusing on tomorrow. I'll be waiting for the divergence to really form. I want this to come down a little bit and then come up and form this type of move right there. So let the market come down a little bit into this zone. Make one more push up, one more move higher, but the momentum won't be there. Maybe the volume won't be there. And then that'll be an opportunity, a very risky opportunity to look for a correctional short. Now, since the market has just been pushing up and up and up, I like to wait for 3 waves before I take any divergence trade. So it would be nice to see on the 15-minute if we could get 3 waves as well within 3 waves. So like I said, here's the 3 wave, you could say. 1, 2, and if we get that 3, that'd be good. So within that 3 waves, I kind of want to see this do something maybe like this to give me more confirmation. If it doesn't, I need to at least see 15-minute divergence. If this thing just pops up and doesn't give me 15-minute divergence, and this just kind of breaks out of this momentum and just breaks out, then I'll need to see it give me a double top with divergence or something with divergence. Because when you're playing a correction, you're trying to catch the top of a market or bottom of a market, which in a lower time frame, this is like a huge push up, right? 15-minute or 5-minute huge push up. But we just have these levels of imbalance that I do believe the market is going to try to get to. Now, if it starts to break like this before, probably not going to play anything. So really want to wait for the move up. So what that means is everything that I'm looking for tomorrow is going to be a little bit risky because we're waiting on a big fat correction. So we're playing correctional moves. Let's go and look at some forex pairs like EU. Okay, and EU would be just, this is going to be one of the most picture perfect sells once it gets up here. Let's look at it on the daily first. And let's kind of erase everything that we got here and come into here. So you can see that the market is starting to shift to the downside with this momentum, possibly kind of 3 black crows, I believe is what this candle pattern stick is called. Doesn't matter. The volume was super present. I wish there was more rising volume here, but that's all good. Coming into this area, there's high volume. Let's mark that off real quick. And it's pretty easy to see the just sideways structure there. And also, this would be somewhat of the fib on the reverse side that we're looking at on the dollar. So a little bit more down on the euro that I still see. Let's go into the 4-hour. And so, I mean, ultimately what we really want is we want this to correct into this level and then make another move, big move, just like it did down, just like that. So that's really what we want to see. But if it goes any lower, it's testing my divergence patience. and we're going to look at it like this. So we're starting to wave out here on the MACD, looking really clean. And I mean, to me, it hasn't made new momentum lows because this is equal. And then we have this last wave here's not waving out or not making new momentum lows either. So I think if we can get a pullback and it's not too deep, because if it's a huge pullback and then it moves down, I'm not going to be looking for divergence. Divergence is specifically for when the market is overextended or just beautifully making the most beautiful Elliott wave you've ever seen. How I like to look at it is I'll look at the EMA and I'll look at a 50 EMA most of the time for my divergence. And if it's far enough away, so like right now, if it really kind of needs to chill out and then kind of get away from this EMA, because this EMA is going to start to move like this. And so if it can kind of get a little close to this and then move away from it, give me this type of a ugly falling wedge pattern, then that's something I'll look for down here at the 78.6. But really it's a little risky. I might even take a look at it on my divergence fib tomorrow, which is something that I'm not about to just explain. But depending on where it stops is where the fib will come out. So it could stop up here, and that's where it's kind of an inverse fib that I like to use. Let's go to GU. GU's looking very similar, so we're just going to drag this down and move this over here. Waiting for the same exact move, the deep correction, and then the move down. Let's get some volume in here and see what this is looking like over here. Yep, so if it does kind of break here, there's a lot of volume sitting up there still. But what I'm seeing is this possibility on GU. Really, if it kind of breaks above here, it's most likely sliding straight up into this level. So that's something to watch for on the lower time frames. Let's go into the 15-minute. And it's creating the same type of vibe. It has this little bit of a Wyckoff accumulation vibe to it right here. So if it does give like a big spring and then instantly comes back in like this, watch for this to make a nice correction. Now, on the flip side, since it's so bearish and the momentum is so bearish, you go to the daily. I believe we got 3 bearish candles as well here on the daily. Yes. Well, kind of. But the momentum could just sweep this down a little bit lower than some people think. So you've got to be careful on that. Let's move this over here, see how close this is to this macro area, because we are the daily. Okay, so that's something to note. Here we have the 78.6 on the daily. So let's go back to the 15-minute. And yeah, this is going to be a good opportunity, I think, for tomorrow. So watch for these lows to get swept, hopefully. And what would even be better, guys, is if these highs can get swept a little bit here. We see rejection from this zone, and then it comes back down in here, rejects off this. That would be the ultimate kind of take liquidity. Now it's got everything it needs, and it's ready to go. With the Wyckoff accumulation, give it a spring, a test, and we're off to the races with this move. So, one of two ways to play this. Risky traders, you can play it right here. The second riskiest trader can play this. The third riskiest trader, maybe if you want to wait for the complete shift of structure, this is for you. The safest trade, honestly, is if we get all of this to happen, then and really, like I said, I want it to kind of break up first and then do this. Then a buy stop, honestly, and I don't even like to say buy stop even out loud, but a buy stop right here, because when you get the whole Wyckoff accumulation and then you get the coil up right here, that's when you get the smart money and dumb money kind of getting the true last transfer, and the smart money will eventually just blast through and win. So we'll see about GU. I like this price right here. Let's call this price out. 1.19720 looks clean for as long as it continues to go sideways. And maybe during London we get the spike. What would be really clean is if the move down is on low volume. The momentum already looks really good here. So even if the market does come down and make a lower low, I do not think it's going to break below this momentum. And so that's a good sign. I will say this volume is very bearish, but if we continue to just go lower with no volume, that's a dead giveaway. Coming into this level of demand, especially, dead giveaway. Now let's bring in a little bit more price to see if there's any volume down here, because it's really showing that it could slip all the way down a little bit further. Yeah, so watch for that. Maybe just have the alert there at the 78.6, wait for rejection, because it could ultimately slip all the way down into here. And that's interesting. 7.2 there. Okay. Let's go into the Aussie. And the Aussie is the same thing, guys. AU, if it makes the good correction, we're looking for the bearish move. It broke the structure on the daily. It has the nice daily candles with the volume increasing, but it's coming into this 50 EMA. It's coming into last month's volume, January's point of control. So there's probably going to be an opportunity. This is probably going to move tomorrow. There's a lot of volume sitting right here as well. So let's go on to the 4 hour first. Yeah, and really, if it could just correct nicely and drop, that's what we really want to see. But most likely going to do something right here. We got a lot of moves that have happened here. So let's see. I'm looking at the 1 hour, and man, it's like we got to play the same thing. If this thing spikes down, but this one's a little different because it's starting to wave more. So it would be something that you could almost draw a back line on. And Wyckoff does encourage these type of trend lines. I just don't care for them too much. But if we can get this here, and then we'll put this guy here, we're kind of already overthrowing this, so it's a little overbought. If we can come down into this level and give the divergence just a clean divergence look, it's going to be the same play, guys. It's going to be the same look. But it's going to be which one looks the best. That's the thing. It's going to be which one looks the best out of all these. Because if one of them does it, they're all going to do it. And it's not always true. So I don't 100% mean that. One does it, all does it. But most of the time. I'm still looking at this as a clean reversal possibility, with this being ultimately just like a huge accumulation, with this being maybe the last spring, because we are starting to see the volume signature pick up big time on these moves up. But like I've been saying, the volume's starting to dry off now as it's just chilling up here, so we should see correction. But these are one of those situations where you got to either, the market's either coming up here or it's faking out and then coming back into this. I hope for a fake out and it to come back into this level, because this looks like a really clean move. Let's go into the 1 hour, and I will check the chats like I said I would, so give me 1 second. I thought I was going to check the chats, but I guess I don't have. There we go. Okay, cool. We don't got anything up. We're good to go. I have to use one monitor, sadly, because this MacBook won't take everything. Where is the freaking... There we go. Let's go to UJ. U to the J. This one's giving me better divergence vibes than maybe all of them. So one more push up on UJ and it looks like a short to me. One more push up right here, looks like a short. Not only will it be giving the kind of move like this, but it's coming into this level here. Right at the 78.6. Now, volume is questionable right here. Let me get some more price into the game. No. Okay, so I don't like this play. Don't like it at all. There's just not enough volume sitting up here. So if it comes up any higher, it's probably going into this level. So that means the yen probably looks very bearish still. Or, you know, the dollar needs to correct though. So it just depends on what the dollar does. The dollar and the yen, I don't know if UJ is the play until it comes down here. I don't think I'm gonna mess with it yet because I want it to come up a little bit, not a whole lot. And then once it gets into here, it's not really my strategy. So I'm gonna not mess with UJ today, or tomorrow most likely. Gold would have freaking played off of this so perfectly. I'm looking at gold, and I think we'll probably, if it's going to break below here, it's probably going to make a big move below there just because the move it has made is is one of those big moves, right? In the daily candles, right, increase in volume as the candles are increasing. And then yesterday it gave this like, I don't want to go up higher candle. So we'll see. I mean, it does need to correct, and if it does, we'll be ready for that kind of short. But since it is pretty bullish, and this might just be a pullback for another move up, I doubt it. I won't be looking for that. I still am kind of interested in how it's going to move up and where might be some areas that we could look for it to slide through. So here's kind of just right here. There's not a lot of volume in between there. So how we can play this is if we do get this shift right here where we're holding and we break above here. Now technically this is like an ABC pattern and it could lead into a down move. But if it breaks nicely, or actually what I'll be looking for more than anything tomorrow is if it can coil here by New York. I will be looking for that New York breakout. Boom. All the way back up here. That would be massive. That would be awesome. Good risk to reward opportunity right there on gold. Very risky because it's so bearish. But like I said at the beginning of the stream, everything tomorrow is going to be risky if you want to play, or you got to wait. So risky plays or just wait for the safe play. Bitcoin, this boy is going lower, I think. Let's look at this thing. So we were looking at this on the lower time frame. We'll talk about that again. Yeah, these daily candles are pressing down after the fake move up. So we have this fake move, kind of the Wyckoff distribution. And if we do begin to break these lows, which I'm going to draw a zone that just hasn't been broken on the daily yet. If we get a candle that closes inside this zone, I believe we're going to see the market fall straight into 21. It's going to be like a smooth 1,000 point candle, just like we saw right here. It's going to be exactly this, straight into that. Or like two candles. It will not take long. Then from there, it is going to be like the ultimate make or break time. And Bitcoin is literally most likely coming all the way back down to here, to be honest. That's my opinion. Let's go to the 15 minute and look and see what we got. See if we can try to catch this move down. And to me, I don't see an opportunity for the downside. If anything, this thing I could be totally wrong. And when this thing kind of breaks out of this thing could take the freak off. Let me put some more volume into this. Yeah. So maybe watch for that as well, because I could be totally wrong about this falling. If it does, guys, if it does make an impulsive move like this, it's most likely coming to test these highs. Most likely. But it needs to break structure. It has not broken it yet. So if it does break the structure, maybe look for this move. It's very risky playing Bitcoin right now on margin because of how manipulative it gets up in these areas. Okay. But I still think this is a possible Wyckoff distribution, and we could be coming down. If, like I said, if we get a nice 1 hour close right here, it might be an opportunity to sell it straight down in there with a good, quick move, quicker than you think then it's going to happen. Okay, Ethereum is going to give us if you're going to buy one, you want to buy Ethereum, I think, on margin, just because it's been a little bit, tiny bit stronger, I think. But either way, I think they're both getting ready to turn over. They're in these supply areas, and they got the divergence. The candles are bearish. Let's go to the 4 hour. I mean, we're breaking below. I mean, it's sideways, so don't worry about that. But I do think this is about to break through this. And once it does, it'll probably make a smooth move. So here's another one. If it breaks through this low, or even prints a candle bearish in that beneath that, it's coming. It's tanking. It's just going to tank. But it has this opportunity where if it does go bullish, it's going to go bullish here. So let's go to the 1 hour. And I don't like this opportunity because the bears are picking up. So I'm going to delete this. I think the bears are going to start to pick up and slide this through. So I'm not looking for the bulls. If we do hold at this level, kind of right in here, and then it does bust up, it is most likely going to break or test these highs, maybe break them. So watch for that. And those are the only two cryptos I really like to trade on margin. I don't even really trade XRP on margin, even though this would have been a freaking dub. Let's go to the VIX. I want to see how the VIX is looking before we look at the indices. Okay, Mr. VIX, you're holding at this level. If the VIX pops, which it very well could now that it's starting to coil up, if the VIX breaks out of this little downtrend that it is not wanting to get out of, but to me it looks like this move was a little fakish, and we're starting to get some momentum up, and we could easily see this thing kind of, and if we get that break, the indices are going to die. So we're looking for this structure to break. Let's put that back up there right here. We're looking for this structure to break right here. We already got this break at the 50 EMA, which is a great start. The momentum is picking up. That's great. No volume on this, so that's fine. Let's go into the indices. Let's look at the S&P. And let's not remove everything. Let's just go to the daily first. We're in a macro fib area, and that's what's important. Yesterday put in a ton of volume with low movement, so something is most likely going to happen tomorrow. You don't usually see this much volume with that little bit of movement. Let's go to the 4 hour and really the 1 hour is where I want to see what we got going on. If we break the low of yesterday, right here, market is coming down. Let's see where it's coming into. Probably all the way down into this next low down in here. But it could hold right here as well and make this move up, since it's just been so bullish. might be the best bet to just look for this kind of play here. Coming down to the 78.6, which I think is going to come down. Let me look at these other ones. Ooh, this looks kind of too bullish to say it's going to come down. That's the thing. The trend is your friend until it's not. So it's been trending for a good 1, 2, 3, 4 waves up. We probably got one more wave, to be honest. Complete that five wave up into that 78.6. Yeah, the momentum on the 4 hour is still valid for the bulls on the NASDAQ. Let me see the S&P. Yeah, still valid for the S&P too. So those guys probably are going to have one more push up. I need to see the Dow. The Dow is the one that looks the most sideways, right? So the weakest. And I was saying if we can get a break of this zone, I think we'll get a lot of confirmation on what's about to happen. So we're still waiting for that. Let's go to the 1 hour because it might be setting up a opportunity. And, you know, it's most likely going to come up and take these out. It's hit here so many times. If it doesn't, it's probably just going to stall close to where it's at, maybe a little higher, and then drop. It might be worth taking a shot right here, actually. But let me look at the daily candles. Taking it down. And really how you could just play it is wait for this to hold. And if this does hold, we should come down, and you could probably get just a similar risk to reward, bringing it down into the next zone. So there's two ways to play that. Let me look at this daily. Not that much volume on that candle. Okay, well, I'm still leaning to the bearish side, but I want to keep my options open, of course, because they have not yet shifted that structure. Let's look at some other pairs like GJ. Okay. Okay, GJ with the bearish week last week, holding below this 50 EMA now. Definitely in this macro level, though, if we're talking fibs. We're not right now. We're going to go into the daily. Sideways action. So it's been sideways since December. And, you know, this is almost a picture perfect distribution pattern. So ultimately, if and it could be like a redistribution, it could continue. Accumulation. Either way, for me, I need to see one of these sides fake out for me to find a direction. I don't want to play a breakout really. So one of these sides need to fake out, and then it needs to come back into the range, and then I will be playing the upside of the range. So what it looks like to me is it needs to come back up here, and if it can get up here, then I'll be looking for a fake move, and then we'll be able to take it down with confidence. Before that, there's a play right here, but I don't want any part of this. I think the market is too... do I want a part of this? Now I question myself. The only reason I question it is because there's this gap. I don't know if it's on that every broker. I'll have to see mine. But if we do make one more move up, this is just kind of made a push without any good correction. I see a little bit of possibility in this zone. Just number one, there has been a lot of fighting here. 78.6, so it's a good discounted price. We haven't had a correction Let me go to the 15 minute. 15 minute is still just kind of like making a bullish move, correction, bullish move, correction, bullish move, correction. If the next push up has lower volume and momentum, it's most likely the last push before a move down. And there is a little bit of like equal highs or just kind of just this area where people might have a stop loss. So that could be used as an entry point, an entry trigger. Let's look at some of the other yens just real quick. Very bullish looking. So EJ with the big bullish move. Let me go to the 1 hour. Ooh, that could be, yeah, that could have been this last little point, and then we're off to the races. So this might blast off up here with this type of, you know, fake move down, move up. It doesn't need to come back into here, I don't think. If it does retrace down lower, it might be a good opportunity, but I think this is just going to move straight up into this level. Let's go into AJ. AJ is ugly. Let's leave it alone. Gold. What else are we looking at today? These are already starting to correct. GA, it's ugly. Let's leave it alone. EG has been moving a lot. So let's look at that. And it barely missed my order down here. So let me delete this and this. And let's look at EG. So very bullish. The volume is very bullish as well. So we're going to look for it to continue to the upside. But it needs to correct. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days of bullishness, and then finally we get 1 day of correction, so that we should get a nice correction here. And ultimately this is going to be the next area that we look for this to come up again, kind of down in this level here. So we can delete this and go on to the lower time frame, see if we can get a correctional sell. Now, what I need to see is the market come up, not put in a new high, and then drop. Once it does that, then I'll have a clear change in structure, and I can look for something like this to take it down into this entry. But until I get that, I'm not too, I don't really see anything on EG. I see it could just, but no entry really. No good saucy entry. This one was unfortunate as well that it didn't give me an opportunity to play because it hit a higher time frame demand zone down there and then just took off. So let's see what it looks like on the daily. Yep. All right, now it's coming back into a possible area where it might struggle. So 1 hour, and if we get this, yeah, okay, cool. So here's a possibility where we have it struggling. Now it's starting to break the structure, and so if it does come back up into the struggle level, I don't see why not. Good little head and shoulders pattern. I don't see why not. Let's go to the 15 minute, and we do have like the manipulation and then drop. Did it twice actually. So I am going to put a little alert up here at this level where if it comes back up into here where there's a little bit of volume, might have to assess some risk right there. So let's create an alert there. Let's go to the 1 hour and just see really what I'm looking at. Yeah. I like this because we do have this fib here, 78.6 getting hit twice, and we have the manipulation here. So yeah, this looks like a clean move. It could just slide straight down into this level right now, and if it does come down, might have to watch this level down here too, but it shouldn't get there yet. So we're gonna play the shorts on EA if it comes up. UCAD maybe? Nah. UCAD's one to maybe watch for if it can come all the way down here at some point this week, because it definitely kind of made this fake move, big move. So let it come back down here and we should see another big move. I think that's pretty much every pair and everything that we look at. Let me go check the comments one more time. Let's see if I can do it like this. Hear this beats, man. You got any beats over here? I'm trying to look at them, dog. Send us a link if you got some. I appreciate you for hopping on the stream, bro. We'll be on every night, you know. Tomorrow's gonna be a risky day, so I will be doing, if I trade any of these setups, because what I like to do, guys, is I like to get up on here and I like to look at my probabilities and my odds. After trading for 5 years, you really start to, like, you can draw all over these damn charts, but you really start to understand that maybe 1 out of 5 times is really going to do exactly what you want. That one time when it does exactly what you want is going to give you a dopamine feeling that you are going to be right all the time. And there's nothing you can do about that. Just like when you drink freaking 10 shots, there's nothing you can do about it. You get drunk. So what you really want to understand and realize is when you're trading, you always want to have an open bias to both sides, because you don't know what the market's going to do. You have no idea what the market's going to do, but when you have your probabilities set in place, it makes it a lot easier. So I'm going into tomorrow knowing, number one, that if I'm going to play something, it's going to be half risk, because the market, in my opinion, I'm waiting for the market to make a humongous retracement. I still need the market to come way down here. So that means that ultimately, macro, I'm bullish. But you know you're not supposed to play against the trend. But tomorrow, if it does make one more move up, we're calling the bluff and we're playing against it. Now that's risky. If I lose tomorrow, I understand that was extremely risky. And I'm not going to continue to just try and try and try. You know what I'm saying? Tomorrow is a risky day. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. We're ultimately waiting for the big play of the week down here. And that will be where we put most of the risk, 1 to 2% on a trade right here for an opportunity. When the dollar gets into this area, we'll have to assess which currency looks the weakest against it, because we want a dollar to look strong. We want another currency to look weak, and that is going to be the one that we attack. So, tomorrow we'll see if we get a trade off. It seems like it's going to be a little bit of a risky day. I think the Fed is talking. Let's just check it real quick before I get off. The Fed. Oh, we got some. The AUD is raising rates. So these guys, the AUD is probably going to pop off tonight, like heavy pop. We got 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Mr. Powell himself will be speaking. So, yes, this will be something to watch for. I bet the markets move a little bit. Could move before, could move after. We'll see. We'll have to watch the volume on how the market moves. But yes, tomorrow 11 o'clock, and then in 30 minutes, basically the AUD. I don't like to trade at this time, and I don't really trade AUD pairs heavy, but you can expect some movement, which means we just got to look at them again really quick. EA, yeah, let's watch how this closes, and it would be a little too quick, so let's see. With the volume profile looking like this thing could just slide straight down. No lie. Let's look at AU and see if it looks bullish. Yeah, okay. Interesting. Let's put some more price into this, see what this profile looks like, and it could hold. I'm not worried. I'm not looking at AU. And then GA, is it bearish as well? Yeah, it's already starting to be bearish. So these things are already starting to kind of drop a little bit. It's dropping really ugly, so you got to watch for that. EA, is it dropping less ugly? No, pretty ugly as well. I'll probably stay out of that news just because news is weird, guys. Let's look at the actual AUD futures because that's going to give me better volume read. And let's go to the 1 hour. Yeah, the volume is picking up, but it's low. So low volume picking up right here on that candle. In 30 minutes, there's news. It's been very bearish. So just watch. Maybe what you would want to do if you're a news type of person is watch for this low on AU to break. So let's go to the forex market, go to AU. And that's a long ways away, fellas. So, but still, let's see what that. No, too big of a risk to reward. I don't think there's any trade on this. I wouldn't want to buy it at this point either. So, if it does, no, just let the news chill. You know what I'm saying? Let it chill. Let it spike down probably and be fake is what it's really probably going to do. Be a fake move down. Because when the dollar raises rates or when the US raises rates, that is not necessarily, or that makes the dollar go up. So when the AUD raises rates, it could make the AUD go up as well. I don't know really where they stand in their currencies, right? So I'm not the biggest fundamental trader, and being a forex trader, you would think you need to be. You don't. You really don't, guys. You don't. So that's gonna be it. Let's see if these guys are going up yet. Big up yet? Yeah. Wow. Huge moves by the bond. So this is bearish for the stock market. Big bearish moves incoming. I think when this makes this retracement and makes a new high, that's going to lead to this move here and then a move down. Maybe ultimately another move up and then a move down. Same thing with the NASDAQ. Maybe one more move up and then a move down. But for the Dow, I don't think it's going to make another move up. I think it's going to do something because it's been weaker. Something like this. So watch for these guys. Tomorrow's going to be risky. I think the next day is probably going to be when we'll get a good, clean opportunity. Because tomorrow's not that day, I don't think. Unless there's some manipulation going on right at the like open, or really the only solid play that we'll see tomorrow is if this kind of comes up here and then by London it does this and then New York it does this. Okay, if we see something like that, then tomorrow we have a really high probability shorting opportunity. If we don't get this exact freaking model right here with the timing and everything, it's a lot more risky to short tomorrow, guys. And it's also stupid to buy, in my opinion. Let me just point this out because of how bullish it is and how it hasn't made the retracement. Yes, the trend is your friend. I see it could just do this. 5-minute fibs all over the place. We're not going to play those. All right, that's it for me. I appreciate everyone for coming on. Make sure you like and follow. We're going to be on every night. So, this is just what we do. It is just what we do. I look at these freaking markets every single night, and I've been teaching people how to trade for 3 years now. Been doing it on with NextWave for almost 2 years now. And this is what we do. So, come on, learn something, make some money with us. And we'll see you tomorrow. See you.